You hear me? Can you hear me now? I think I've just said all of that and nobody could hear me. Can you somebody give me a thumbs up or say hello if you can hear me? Very good chance you didn't hear anything I've just said. I've just had a look and I don't think my microphone was working. Anyway, I was saying thanks to everyone who came at the weekend. Class schedule will be going up very shortly. Come to my classes. Come and enjoy my fabulous new room. Got a thumbs up from Margaret. Good. Glad it's working. Oh, right. Let me flip to the desk here. We're going to do some crafting. I was saying that my new order, I was hoping it would have arrived by today, but I'd pushed the deadline back. Thanks, Jane. Thanks. Oh, Jean, you're on YouTube. I can see that you're messaging me from YouTube. Yay, this is really exciting. I've got a new message thing that's coming up along the side now. I'm really, really chuffed about it. Yes, my order, I was hoping it would arrive today, but I pushed the deadline back so that other people could get some orders in. So it's not arriving till tomorrow. But next week, I will have the new kits. I will have new goodies to show you out the catalogue. I do have some new goodies to show you today, but I'm going to flip around and we're going to get some crafting done. So let me check you can still hear me. I'm going to turn the lights on so that you can see me. Right, for the people who came at the weekend, you've seen this all right already. Hey, Ali. Oh, you all come up in bright colours as well. This is so cool. Ali's on YouTube. I can see that. And I can see Julie's on Facebook. Oh, so exciting. Yeah, so for everybody who came at the weekend, you've already seen these cute little boxes. Now, I will be very honest, I did not design these. I got given one of these by one of my fabulous team members, Garance. And so I basically copied this project from her. I don't know if she made it herself or if she saw it online or if she got it as a swap. But one of the things within the Stampin' Up community is we talk about CASE, which is copy and share everything, or copy and share exactly, or craft and share exactly. But these little boxes are super cute. You're on holiday in Wales, Jean. Have a fabulous time. I hope you're getting great weather. Thank you for saying hi. And watch the rest of it on catch up because these boxes are so super cute and I want you to know how to make them. So, forgot my trimmer. Let me get my trimmer. Right, these boxes, super cute, super easy. Let me show you how to make them. So these particular ones I have done using the Country Lace Designer Series paper, which is really, really pretty. I do like this paper. And I'm thinking, do I actually have a piece cut already? I do, but yeah, actually, I'm going to use the piece that's cut already. Let's do another one in Misty Moonlight. The Misty Moonlight and the Petal Pink, they're both really pretty. But let me start off with the Misty Moonlight version. Let me just get my bone folder and my scissors and some glue. Right. So what you need, start off with a piece of A4 cardstock and you're going to put it in and you're going to trim it at 13.5 centimeters. Let me move that up a little bit so you can see properly. There we go. So you're going to cut a piece that is 21, which is the width of your A4, by 13.5 centimeters. Okay, 21 by 13.5. I am going to type up all these measurements and stick them on my blog. Okay, so you can scribble along as you go. You can also watch this on catch up, but I am going to put it online as well. So 21 by 13.5. Next, what you're going to do is score it at 1.5. Now, I find the easiest... let's go around this way. I find the easiest way to do this is to score 1.5 up at the top and then turn it around rather than have that big bit dangling off the bottom. So that's 1.5. Then I'm going to take it to 6 and then 10.5, 15, and then you can keep going to 19.5, or that top bit is again 1.5. So you can just do it up at the top. All right. And you should end up with, hopefully you can see that, a thin bit at left and right, and then 4 equal bits in the middle. Okay. Once you've scored that way, you're going to turn it around 90 degrees, score it this way. And we're going to score it at 4.5 and at 9. And that will give you, you see that there? That will give you lines which are these bits. These bits are all equal sizes. Okay? Right, once you've done that, you are going to get a pencil. This pencil, this is funny, it's from the Royal Scots Club in Edinburgh, which is where we held Celebrating Scotland years ago. It was all the Stampin' Up demos in the area. We got together and had a crafty day, which was really, really good fun. I really enjoyed it, and we should do it again. If anybody's watching who came along to that and wants to do another Celebrating Scotland, let me know. See if we can make it happen. Right, where's my thing that tells me what it is I'm supposed to be doing? So, going to, do you know what? Let's start by folding all of the folds, because that makes it easier to see what's going on. All right, just fold them over, trusty bone folder, crease all of these folds. There we go. There we go. Right, next I am going to measure up. So from this piece here, from this corner point, I'm going to measure 1.5 centimeters. Actually, I'm going to do it along the top and the bottom. So 1.5 centimeters there. And then I'm going to do the same at the other side from this center point. Okay, so 1.5 centimeters top and bottom. Then I am going to, with my ruler, draw that line. I'm not doing it all the way along. I'm just doing it on the left and the right most squares. And I'm going to turn that over, and I'm going to do the same at the other side. Okay, and I'm not even doing it right the way up to the lines. You don't need to. Next, I'm going to do, so again from these points here, I'm going to measure 1.5 centimeters. So 1.5 centimeters from this crease and 1.5 centimeters from that crease. And I'm going to do the same at the other side. You know what? Alexa, turn on the light. There we go. That helps me a bit. How does that make in terms of lighting for you? I needed it a bit lighter. This center crease down the middle, again, from these points here, I'm going to measure 1.5 and 1.5. If you're lost, don't panic, because I am going to put a template. I've got like a little drawn scribble here that I'm following. I'm going to put that on the website, and then you guys will be able to follow it. But for now, I'm going to take these pencil marks that I've just marked off and take it in diagonals, like so. Also occurs to me that this would have been easier to see on the pale pink. There was a reason I didn't do the pale pink, which I shall show you about in a minute. Made sense in my head at the time, but in retrospect, maybe would have been smarter. What do you think? Can you see it? Do you like the misty moonlight? Your Alexa's now trying to turn the lights on. I'm sorry, Ali. I should have thought of that. And just don't worry, I'll not ask her to buy you a doll's house or do any other unusual things, because I think that's stuff that people have fallen foul of in the past. Right, I have marked off all the pencil lines that I need to. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this back in here. And so remember that 1.5 centimetre that I did at the start on top and bottom. I'm just going to trim those, and then I'm going to do the same at the other side. This is where a trimmer really comes into its own rather than a guillotine, because you've got control. You don't have to chop the whole bit. You can just do a little bit. Then I'm going to put it in along this crease line. Take it from this point here and do it up. And do the same at the other side. Look at these little bits that I'm going to throw away. I'll show you what the whole thing looks like, or what it should look like when you're done. Cut from there and there. Take those corner pieces out. And now you have a piece that looks like this and has these little flaps here and here. Okay. Next, I want to do my diagonal bits. So this is where this line that I drew earlier really helps. Line this up with your trimmer. Take out that corner. And then do the same at the other side. I'm using my trimmer. You could just as easily use scissors. Nobody is going to come round and tell you off for that. Hey Nadia! You're in Skye. Oh, that sounds amazing. Hey, I've got a very diverse group today. I've got people in Wales, I've got people in Skye. That's very cool. And people in Bristol, people in Glasgow. Very nice. Right, this is what we've got at the moment. One last bit that we want to do before we start assembly. 2 more bits we're going to do before assembly. So first of all, I'm going to take my bone folder and a ruler and just score along these bits. You could, I suppose, do this in your trimmer, but for some reason I just find it easier with the bone folder. So give it a try, see what works for you. You know what I'm like, I'm all in favour of people doing things the way that's going to work best for them. If you were here at the weekend and got one of these boxes yourself, then feel free to take it apart to figure out how I made it, because that's what I did to get mine to work. If not, you'll just have to come and craft with me. Andy Skilbride, yes, no scissor police here. Absolutely, Ali. Right, once you've got all of those pieces, these score lines that you've just done, you can fold them like so. And this piece in the center you haven't cut, it's still there. But when you fold that, you can tuck them under and then just go over with your bone folder. And then do the same at the other side. Okay. Ali, when you're saying about scissor police, it reminds me, I saw a post on Facebook just a couple of minutes before starting. And it was somebody saying, I used my mum's fabric scissors for paper, and now the police are on their way. So, because we all know what it's like to have good scissors that you don't use for anything other than fabric or ribbon. So, right, this is where we're at so far. Okay, these little bits that fold in, these bits that fold in. Ooh, while we're here, I am just going to grab, it's a retired corner punch. If you have your own corner punches, use them. There's lots of different corner punches that we've had over the years. You could use scissors to round off the corners if you wanted to. I am using this corner punch, which I have loved for many years, just to round off those little bits. There we go. Right, decoration. Do your decoration before you glue the box together. Go on, ask me how I know. It is much, much easier to put the decoration on if you haven't already glued it. So what you need is your designer series paper, and you're going to cut that at 4 centimeters. So you want a strip that is 4 centimeters long. And then you are going to cut 6 squares that are 4 centimeters by 4 centimeters. Okay, so I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. There we go. Once you have your 6 squares, put 4 of them to one side, and with the other 2, you're going to cut them in half diagonally. Now, I find the easiest way to do this is to line the points up with your trimmer guide, put the blade in the center, and then do left and right to cut it into 2 triangles. Okay. If you line it up and then try and push the blade just across like that, or even in the other direction, sometimes the blade hits the point and kind of bends it, and you end up with damaged point. So if you do it this way, if you start in the center, then you will end up with nice sharp points on either side. That is my top tip for cutting diagonals. Right, let's get these boys glued together. Right, I'm going to do the 4 strips, the 4 squares down the center piece first, using my trusty Tombow. And for this, I like to have the stripes in the same kind of pattern, but then I'm also happy for them to be going alternating up, down, left versus down, up. So if you see that, I would say that's facing down the way. And if you see this square beside it, it's the same. But this one, I'm going to turn around. So they just kind of alternate. I mean, you could turn them around completely and have them all at different angles at each other. But this is the way I like to do it because I think it looks nicest. So, of course, it depends very much on your paper. If I used the other side, the pretty and pink side, wouldn't make any difference because there's no right way up, wrong way up, different way up. It's just all dots. It's all pretty much the same. There we go. Swap this around like this. Tombow, as always, very forgiving. You can kind of move it around as much as you need to. Okay. So, oh, that's weird. All of the comments just duplicated. That's quite funny. Some of them are now showing up. Oh, it's all the YouTube ones that have just all reappeared. Very interesting. Okay, right. Once you've done your 4 squares down the center, the next thing you're going to want to do is your triangles. Now, for this, what I would recommend, looking to see where you cut them and then making sure that it's those triangles that go on the same side, because that's how you're going to get a finish on the box, which looks right-ish. If I had used a different triangle, for example, then when it went together, it would look a bit weird. So I want to make sure that I use the same triangles on the same side, top and bottom. So let's glue this down first. That one and that one, like so. And then the same at the other side. So these ones are the triangles that fit together, and they're going to go on there. What do we think? Who's team Misty Moonlight and who's team Petal Pink? Do you have a preference for which box is nicest? This paper is lovely paper. And I think both the colours are really pretty. And it was just really nice to do as a little gift for the people who came along to my grand craft room reopening. Right. Another thing you're going to do before you assemble a box, punch the holes. So take the piece that we've got now with all the paper stuck onto it, fold the whole thing in half, and then this little flap here. You're a Misty Moonlight girl, Linda, are you? Don't blame you. It is very pretty. Going to use whichever hole punch you prefer. Again, I'm using my trusty crocodile, which I've had for many, many moons. Let's get some ribbon while I'm at it. There we go. And I've punched through both holes at the same time. All right. At this point, oh, one last thing we're going to do. Just to make this bit slightly neater, I'm going to trim off the corners of these flaps, because these ones are about to get stuck down and it just looks slightly neater if you trim them first. There we go. Okay, now let's use our trusty Tombow to put glue on those flaps that I've just cut the corners off of. Not this diagonal V bit, just your 2 little flaps, okay? And then I'm going to fold this in, and these flaps come down and stick onto this piece here, like so. Yep. And then the same at the other side. Like so. There we go. And then these bits fold in together for this cute little box. It is so super cute. Right, you're going to want a piece of ribbon that's about 30 centimetres, so about 12 inches. Pop a bit of I'll pop a wee sweetie in there beforehand, or as my lovely friend Susan used to say, diamond ring, and feed the ribbon through at both sides, like so, and then tie a bow, like so. Just tie a knot first, and then doing my bunny ears version of a bow, because that allows me to adjust both sides as I choose. And there we go. There is another cute little box, and you can do them in any colour that you've got the card for, and I like it with the matching DSP. What do you think? You like it? I like it. All right, so the reason that I did the box in Misty Moonlight is because I thought I would do a card to match, and I want to do that in Petal Pink. And one of the reasons that I'm doing the card in Petal Pink rather than Misty Moonlight is because then I don't have to do a liner on the inside, because Misty Moonlight is quite dark. And this way I can just write directly on the inside. So doing my card base here, which is just half of A4. So scored at 14.8, sorry, cut at 14.8, scored at 10.5 to make a card blank. And then, so the set that I wanted to use is this one, which is a new set to me. It's one from the new catalogue. It's called Paper Tags. It's got dies that coordinate with it. And I had an idea in my head, which I haven't made yet, but I'm going to make now. Yeah, so let's open this up. Before I get with the stamps though, I'm going to cut some DSP for my card blank, and I'm going to do something that I never do because I saw it online and I thought, I'm going to try this. I never do this and I should try it. So always when I cut a DSP layer for a card, I will leave a little border around the edge. But this time, I want to use the DSP to cover the entire front of the card. We're going to see what this looks like. I'm hoping it looks pretty. I have an idea for this card, and this is what I was going to do, so I'm just going to fire ahead and do it, and we'll see what happens. So my card is a standard C6, and I have cut my DSP layer to fit the whole thing. So that's 14.8 by 10.5 centimeters. So it's giving me a fully patterned card blank. There we go. Next though, I want to use, oops. I'm going to die cut it first, I think. I was thinking how I was going to do this, and I think I want to die cut it first. And I'm going to use, you've got different die cut shapes. You see, you've got, do you know what? I'm going to do one of each, and then you lot are going to help me decide which one I should do. Because they're both really pretty, and they'll both fit the stamp that I have in mind. Let me get my cut and emboss. Right. I don't know if you lot are still giving me comments or not. I'm just seeing all of the same YouTube ones multiple times. So while it's a cool feature, it does have a few bugs. So not entirely resolved yet. Let's put this on, cut through. I'm going to do one of each of these. This particular set was one that I saw demoed when I was in Strasbourg at the Stampin Up on stage event, which is open to all Stampin Up demonstrators. And one of my friends, the lovely Kylie Henshaw, demonstrated this set, and she did such a fabulous job. Her designs and her samples were just stunning. So I knew when I saw it that it was one that I just had to have. Right. So you can have this tag here with the wavy, or this tag here with the plain. Actually, could you layer them on top of each other? So if I did this one in pink with this in white, do you know what? I'm going to cut them both out in white and see what we think about this. I'm going to need your opinions on this, ladies. Because you know that way when you've got an idea and it just needs to come together. But I do like having my design team online to help me make the decisions that I need. See what looks best. Let's push this through. So this is just basic white cardstock. Okay, so one option would be to have that and then have my sentiment on the white piece. The other option would be to do that and have my sentiment stamped on the peach, on the petal pink piece. Let's you guys have a think about that while I get the ink. And I think maybe the petal pink, maybe the flirty flamingo. No, flirty flamingo is too much. I might try the Versamark as well, you know. Let's do a little sample on this scrap piece here. So I need a block. Things are lucky when you drop them. Right, where's my design team? Give me some ideas here. Tell me what you think. What do you prefer? The pink on the white or the white on the pink? Need your thoughts. While you're thinking about that though, this is the stamp I was going to use. Let's peel it off. It's a wonderful day to celebrate you. Do you know what? I haven't put the sticker on. Let's put the sticker on. I was showing the lovely Jean the other day about putting the cling stickers on. They are a good idea to put on. So I've peeled half of the sticker off. And I'm just lining that up. Peeling the whole thing off. So I have, let's see, white on pink, pink on white, and white on pink. That's interesting. Everybody on Facebook is saying white on pink, but Ali on YouTube is saying pink on white. Let me try inking it up and then see if you think that makes a difference. Okay. Now, the thing about Petal Pink, it is a very pale shade to begin with. So let's see what this looks like. Pink on pink. I wonder if I need a darker pink. Let me just ink this up and see what happens. Let's see. So that's it on the pink. Let's try it on the white. It is far easier to read on the white, not gonna lie. They are both nice. White on pink. Pink on white. I think it is white on pink, you know, girls. And guys, I know there are some guys watching as well. Yeah. Let's go with white on pink. Let's stick this down. Smoky Slate with Petal Pink. That is a really good choice, Linda. I like that. If I hadn't already stuck it down, I might have tried it on the other side. Let's get my white ribbon. Now, before I stick this down, just wondering about trying something. We're going to try something a bit different. Let's use this stamp from this set. So this is this kind of swirly set here. White heat embossed on pink. Now, Karen, now you're talking. That is a really good idea. I haven't got my heat embossing stuff out at the moment, but it is certainly something to try for later. Right. Watch this. This is very much an experiment. I don't know if this is going to work, but we're going to try it. I'm just going to ink up this swirly piece and I'm going to stamp straight onto the ribbon. I know what's going to happen. Right, can you see that there? There's like stamped bits on the ribbon. I thought it would make it just a little bit more interesting. Just give it a little bit of something. Je ne sais quoi, as they say in France. It is a little bit of, I'm not quite entirely sure. What do we think? Stamped ribbon or just plain white? I was looking to see if I had the same flowers or even dots that were in the designer series paper. I don't think I do. cut that as a V. Tell me what you think, folks. Stamped ribbon or white ribbon? What do you think of that? Stamped ribbon. Yeah, do you know what? It's different, but I like it. Let's get some tear tape, and I think probably dimensionals as well, what I'm looking for. So, oh, votes for the stamped ribbon. Loving it. Right. My trusty take a pick. I'll just put a little bit on the back here as well. Haha. Done that in the wrong direction, but it still works. There we go. I should use big foam pads, but they're not in my drawer, and I can't be bothered walking all the way over. That's so lazy, Emma. They're literally over there in one of those drawers. But because I'm being lazy. Should have used the edges. That would have made more sense. Then I could have had long side pieces. Right. Check I've got the card opening the right way. Wouldn't be the first time that I had put a card on the wrong way. Let's use a bit more tear tape on the back of this little knot. And then you know what it needs to finish it off, don't you? You know what I'm going to say. What does it need? What does it need to finish it off? Once we've got this bit done, DSP's done, the ribbon's done, the stamping's done. What does it need? What does it need next? You know it. It needs bling. It's like the jewellery at the end of the outfit. That's my argument, and I'm sticking to it. The bling is like the jewellery that you put on at the end of an outfit. There we go. Right. It's a wonderful day to celebrate you. Of course it needs bling, Linda. You know me so well. There we go. So, let me put all of that mess to the side. This has been our Facebook Live for tonight then. We have made a cute little treat box. We made it in the misty moonlight. And then we have made a card using... That's terrible, I didn't even tell you the name of the bundle. Did I tell you the name of the bundle? It's the paper tags, stamps and dies, using petal pink, using some stamped ribbon and some bling to finish. What do you think? Is that a card that you like? Is it one that you would try yourself? Let me know in the comments. So thank you to everybody who has watched. Let me flip back just to say bye. Rearrange myself. Thank you so much for joining me crafting tonight. Next week will be the unboxing with all of the new, well, not all of the new stuff out of the new catalogue, but it will all be new catalogue stuff. I'll have the new kits to share with you next week as well. Keep an eye on my website for the measurements and the instructions of the template for that box. I'll also send it out to my mailing list, so if you're on that, then you'll get the tutorial sent that way as well. And my class schedule will be going live again very soon too. So have a fabulous week, have lots of crafting, and I'll speak to you soon. Take care. Bye.